let's define work-life balance.
And the thing with that is if you're trying to achieve the balance, then you're not really living either of them to their full potential. Something that I go on and teach and strongly believe is not work-life balance. It's work-life priority.
Working out how far you can push yourself, like what you're comfortable with. It doesn't mean you have to go work 90-hour days.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You've got to know your limits too.
Yeah.
Because if you're burning the candle at both ends,
No, it doesn't work.
you'll fuck yourself up in business, but then how do you expect to prioritize your life when you're completely drained?
And then you just become a shit person.
Yeah. Work-life balance doesn't exist. Does exist.
It's fake.
Do whatever you want. I don't care.
As long as you feel balanced.
As long as you feel like you're accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish and that you're doing it in a way that makes you mentally, physically, spiritually happy.
Yeah, and you live in a life that you desire, you
That's
deserve.
right. A life that you've created for yourself.
Yeah, that's
by
what
your
matters.
own means.
All right, welcome back to another episode of $1 Million Days.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
I thought you were going to introduce
I
yourself
wasn't.
again.
I wasn't. I learned from the last episode, from the show notes and the suggestion box that you told me not to introduce myself.
Well done. Oh, so HR called you.
They did. They called me.
Well, at least they're doing their job.
Someone has to.
Someone has to. It's not going to be me.
So today, we want to talk about work-life balance.
Is it a thing?
It's fucking bullshit.
Is it?
It doesn't exist for all you fucking plebs out there that are thinking work-life balance. Oh, I need to have a break.
Not you guys. Not you guys listening, of course.
No, everyone that doesn't listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
It was an indirect insult to those people who
For
are
the
not
people
listening.
that you know.
To the people that you know.
Yeah.
That's right. Who have bought into the propaganda of you need to have work-life balance.
Okay, so you don't buy into it.
Not in the slightest.
Why?
Because I think it's been put there for people to give up or just to follow the norm and justify their shitty life, be it in business or in life.
Yeah.
That's why I don't believe in it. And I don't think it necessarily works. Why are you trying to balance something that cannot be balanced? They're two very different things.
Well,
work and life.
Let's start here.
Please.
Let's define work-life balance.
Okay, so I suppose the concept of it is if you are working too hard or too much, then your life is being suffered. If you are lifing too much or too hard.
Living too much?
No, just lifing.
Oh, lifing?
Yeah,
Okay.
if
cool.
you are
I
lifing
like it.
too
That's a
hard,
good word.
yeah, then your work will suffer. So you need to have a balance between the two. You need to do 50-50 of each. You need to be balanced. That's what it is. A balance is a 50-50.
When you're not
of
sleeping, obviously.
Yes, that's right. So you need to have a balance between all those things in your life. And the thing with that is if you're trying to achieve the balance, then you're not really living either of them to their full potential. That's my issue with it. And something that I go on and teach and strongly believe is not work-life balance. It's work-life priority. Priority and also blend. Would you like me to elaborate? Because I know you know where I'm going with this.
Let's share it for our
cool.
lovely viewers.
So there's going to be time in your life that you're not going to be able to do the things that you want to do. You're going to have to do the things that you have to do. So you're going to need to prioritize your work. This is as a business owner or as an employee, whatever role you're in at the moment.
Do you know what the saying I love about that?
What's that?
Don't do what you want. No, don't do your best. Do what's required.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Your best's not good enough. Do what's required.
Yeah, you've got to do what you need to do.
Carry on.
Thank you. Thank you for that interruption. So you need to prioritize. You need to prioritize your work. You got to go, cool, for the next 6 months, I need to go and work like an animal. I need to work 120-hour weeks. I need to work weekends. I need to work late. I need to put the kids to bed, then get up and work again. Like you've got to do what you have to do if you want these amazing things to happen in your business.
What if you don't?
What do you mean?
What if you don't?
You don't want those things?
Yeah.
Well, what do you want?
To have balance.
And you've bought into the propaganda. You're going to live a mediocre bullshit life.
So
All right, do you want
reckon-
extraordinary things or you don't?
Me, I definitely do.
Oh, no, you do. But I'm just saying as a rhetorical question to people, do you want extraordinary shit or do you just want to be an average Joe? You want to be an average Joe? Yeah, okay. Work-life balance, bro. Go for it. Enjoy. Enjoy.
You stop at 5 o'clock.
That's it. That's it. Like the clock stops at 5. No,
Yeah.
it keeps
Start at
going.
9.
Exactly. And you've said it as well. It's like The concept of a weekend is less than 100 years old. Who said we have to stop working on weekend? God rested on the seventh day. Motherfucker, he created the world. He had a day off. What have you done?
Yeah.
You can have a day off.
Well, do you reckon he had days off before that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You reckon he was fucking around? No.
You know what? I do love the concept of like, why do we have to work Monday? Like, why do we live this? No one questions that. I think
We had this conversation recently. A few podcasts back. We were talking
Was it
about
on the pod?
Yeah, 100%, because we were talking about employees and
Yeah,
working
that's right.
hours and shit like that.
Yeah. So why do we feel okay? So why do people feel like they need to follow this work-life balance?
I just think at the moment, the work-life balancing,
Yeah.
because it's put out there
That's what it
as
is,
a
right?
way to probably protect mental health to a degree.
5 days on, 2
Yeah,
days off.
That's right.
You know,
And then
yeah,
during
it's
those
one of
days
the-
off, or go on your 4 weeks holiday a year, make sure
you
you're
don't work
refreshed.
weekends here.
That's it.
You know what I mean? You won't work weekends.
Yes.
Like, why not? Like, why can't you work Saturday and have Monday off?
Hmm.
Or why can't you work Saturday and have Friday off? Or like, you know,
I'm sure, if you went to an employer, I'm sure most of them might say that's okay. Yeah, depending on what you're doing as a role, if it didn't actually need you there during the week when the rest of the business world is open. But coming back to what I was talking about, you got to prioritize important things at the right moment. So sometimes if you're growing your business, if you're wanting to win this multi-million-dollar contract, if you're wanting to get that pay rise, that bonus, that promotion, you have to put in the effort. You have to prioritize your work. You have to go, okay, I need to do this. The risk that most entrepreneurs find themselves in is that 6 months, that 12 months becomes 10 years. And then they neglect their life. They neglect that other element of their existence.
so how do you know if you're falling into that
You
trap?
need to prioritize. Well, again, this would come back to either an honest conversation with you or your partner, if you've got a partner, and what you want to achieve in your life. But if it's just you on your own and you're number one, you don't have anyone else in your life, set that time, plan it, and go, I need to work hard for 12 months or 6 months or a year or 2 years, whatever it's going to be. And then say, okay, my reward for that is going to be this. I'm going to go away for 4 weeks. I'm going to go away for 2 weeks. I'm going to go to Greece. I'm going to go to Paris. I'm going to go Disneyland, whatever you want to do. But when you're away, you're going to prioritize your life as well. So you're going to say, okay, I now need to prioritize enjoying my life for the next 4 weeks, or I'm going to go for a 3-month holiday, whatever you have to do, because you're going to be working like an animal. Perhaps you're putting a GM in place, and that's going to allow you to grow the business as the CEO of your business, and then do more recreational things that will help you. When you go away, you're then prioritizing your life. You're prioritizing your mental, physical, spiritual health, as opposed to being at the office. And that's where people fall over. They go, I need to have an equal amount of business. I need to have an equal amount of fun to justify that I am going to be happy and healthy. Here's where the blend comes in. There's going to be times when you are at work that you need to step away and go and see your kids' ballet rehearsal or grand final, or be part of the coaching committee for the football team. There's going to be times where you need to blend the work and blend the life. Same goes when you're on holidays. By the time this episode drops, I would have had a 3-week holiday. Now, I know for a fact over those 3 weeks that I'm going to have to do some work. I could potentially I know some of my team are looking to come back a little bit earlier from holidays, and one of our projects we're trying to get started a week early to get a jump on the year. I'm going to get phone calls during that week. Hey, George, what do I do here? I'm not going to throw my phone in the swimming pool and say, fuck off, don't call me. I'm going to tell my wife, say, Nicole, I've got to go for an hour. Or give me 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I need to make a phone call. She's not going to abuse me going, we're on holidays, you don't take business calls, because she understands. Hey, we're building some sick shit here, and we need to blend what we're doing here. The only reason we're on this holiday and enjoying our time is because I've worked like an animal for 12 months. And we're able to afford to go away interstate at a lovely location and enjoy that time with our family. Yeah, we've got to blend the work sometimes. That is what it means and what it takes to own a business. And even if you're an employee and you want to achieve amazing things and your boss calls you whilst you're on holidays, yeah, you don't have to answer. But again, if you want that promotion, if you want to run the business one day, if you want that extraordinary paycheck, then yeah, it might mean you have to blend your holiday period and your work period.
I feel like I'd get bored
With what?
with 8 hours off every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I genuinely feel like
Yeah.
I'd get bored.
I think as well for you is because you're single at the moment as well. You have a huge advantage over a lot of people.
Yeah,
You can work.
I work my face off.
You can work like a fucking animal, right? And I know at times I'll jump on my computer at night after I put the kids to bed. I already know you're working. That's why I send you WhatsApp messages. Hey, have you checked this out? And you straight away, yep, I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
I go, fucking no.
What
I know
about
you're working on it.
what's the alternative? Like go watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Do you know the funny thing is?
Do you know what I mean?
I reckon over the last, I don't know what it's been, the last month for myself. I put the kids to bed at about 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, and it's still daytime outside. Do you know what I do? I go to bed.
You go to bed?
I go to bed, but I read. I'll read for an hour, half an hour, whatever I'm going to read, a chapter, let's say. Let's just say I read a chapter a night of a book. And then might be on my phone for a bit, and then I'm fucking sleeping by 9 o'clock.
How much do you sleep a night?
I'm sleeping probably 8 hours.
Yeah.
I'm up at 5:30, 5:30, but I wake up before my alarm every single time, completely refreshed because I'm going to bed so early. The only time because the reason I'm doing that is because I'm like, I'm going to go inside and do what? Like watch TV. And I know I just can't be fucked. Like I'm looking at it and go, there's nothing I actually want to watch that's going to fulfill me enough to sit here and do that. And I'm a type of person that I genuinely like my TV time. Just to sit.
Downtime.
Yeah, that's my downtime. I actually like it. But for the last month, I haven't really been that motivated to sit there on the couch and watch TV. Nothing really is great and fulfilling me. So now I go to bed, I read, and I'll do whatever I need to do. I might do some stuff on my phone, watching stupid shit, maybe Instagram or something like that. Yeah. I'm happy to do that. Even a lot of the time when I'm watching Instagram shows and reels and stuff like that, I often look for inspiration for things that I could do or talk about or whatever it might be in my own business. I don't always look at it just for the entertainment perspective. But yeah, going back to that, I can either get up and work. If I have work, I'll often go, okay, cool, I need to do a couple of hours. The other day I had to do a few hours worth of work once I put the kids to bed, did it, went to bed. But I prioritize what is important to me at that certain time. Lately, I've been prioritizing going to bed early so I wake up nice and fresh. Tomorrow, I'm at the gym at 6 a.m. I'm going to go to bed early tonight because I know I don't want to wake up and feel like a zombie at 6 o'clock. I'm going to be there at 6, at 5. I want to wake up, be refreshed and ready to go and put in a solid hour's worth of training. So I want to make sure I'm prioritizing that element of my life. And now, again, this episode is being recorded before I'm going on holidays, but I personally, this holidays, am checking out. I'm really going to prioritize having some quality time with my wife and kids.
Yeah, nice.
That is honestly what I'm going to do. And work will happen in between. I will probably turn my computer on every day, but it'll be between 6 and 9 o'clock every morning. After that,
15-hour days?
No. I like it. I fucking like where your mind went. It'll be between 6 a.m.
Just go work from
and
6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
That's it. No fuck around. In the mornings, I'll do my couple of hours, whatever I need to do, and then I'm going to try and prioritize that element because I've had a massive year. I've had a really big year with the construction business. I've had an even bigger year with the consulting business with the things that we've achieved. Just wasn't in the realm of possibility in January 2023, thinking how big this would explode and what it would become. And it's just, I feel a bit tired. I think mentally I'm a bit tired at the moment, and I'm really looking forward to just prioritizing, relaxing, having fun, and enjoying my next 3 weeks.
Yeah, so I'm big on living life like that though. Like push your limit, and then okay, cool. Like now I've had enough. Like I'm tired, or I'm not operating at optimum level, and then working out what do you do now to recharge? Do you know what I mean?
You went overseas this year, wasn't it?
Me? Yeah.
How good was that for you?
Yeah, that was the highlight of my year, man. Like that was awesome. I spent
Really? We've done a podcast. That was the highlight.
I was talking about the podcast overseas, wasn't I? We bought the kit before I left.
Yeah.
We bought the kit before I left. I think focusing on, for me, this is what works for me. I think you need to work out what works for you, but working out how far you can push yourself like what you're comfortable with. It doesn't mean you have to go work 90-hour days.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You've got to know your limits too.
Yeah.
Because if you're burning the candle at both ends,
No, it doesn't work.
you'll fuck yourself up in business, but then how do you expect to prioritize your life when you're completely drained?
Exactly, yeah. And then you just become a shit person.
Yeah.
But then work out, what do you do to recharge? Like I'll go away, or I'll go on a trip, or I'll go camping.
Yeah.
Or, I'll go spend time at the beach.
Yeah, I
go
like that.
spend time
And I
in
like
nature.
how you go away for that day, 3 days, whatever it is,
Off the
all
grid.
by yourself.
Yeah, off the
all
grid.
by yourself. A lot of people, if I was to go camping, in all honesty, I would probably want to go with people.
I usually do.
Yeah. But I'm
But
saying
if,
you
like,
went recently on your own.
Yeah, because no one was
completely.
available. And I'm like, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? I'm going, you can't come? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah. Let me
I'm
know.
going, yeah.
Campfire, be ready.
It was sick.
Toast
Dude,
the marshmallows.
It was so good, man. It was so good. I went and I just unplugged for 3 days. There's no reception. So you can't check emails, you can't do anything.
Yeah, how good.
And I just unplugged for 3 days. Your phone doesn't even matter. Dead, not dead. Who cares? Like, it makes no difference in the world.
Can't play solitaire?
Completely disconnected. Had a book.
Yeah.
That's it. Had
Finish
a book.
it?
Had a journal. No, I didn't. I read a bit. But yeah, your biggest problem is,
Did you hunt?
where's my
Hunt for
firewood?
your food?
Yeah, in the esky.
Crossbow?
No. Yeah, shooting the chicken skewers in the esky. Yeah, biggest problem is, what am I going to eat? And what's going to keep me warm? You know what I mean? And it's like, cool. And then you just do that, and it's like almost like back to basics. You know, there is nothing matters except for that. And you're getting up early, and then you go, like, you know what I mean? It's enjoyable. I like it, man.
You prioritized that element of your life, even if it was for 3 days. It doesn't have to be prioritizing for 6 months, your life. You can prioritize for 3 days.
Yeah,
You can go, I'm gonna
because
take
I'll get bored, though.
Friday,
I'll get
Saturday,
bored.
Sunday. I can prioritize going camping, going fishing, going for a run, whatever makes you happy. For 3 days, that's what I'm going to do. And that is my disconnect. No, I'm going to prioritize. That means I can work for 3 weeks at a time and take 3 days off.
But so, like, have you seen, there's a clip, Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like the #1 YouTuber in the world.
I rate him a lot.
Dude, he's 24 years old.
Is he that young?
24.
What a
Some
fucking
24,
legend,
20.
man.
Yeah, like
What a
absolute
fucking
beast.
legend. He's going to
Get it?
be, that's all we
Get
do
it?
there. He's going to be a billionaire if he
He
isn't
will-
already.
Literally, he will be a billionaire.
Yeah, if he isn't already. He got offered $1 billion for his whole empire and he turned it down.
Have you heard his thing of how he works?
No. Oh, maybe, but tell me.
And he's like, no one has to try this, but this is what works for me. And here's another thing, just before I get onto that. If you love what you do, like if you genuinely enjoy what you do, like you're not going to work's not that draining.
How hard is this?
This.
Yeah, like doing this podcast.
I'm
This is fun.
going to take the rest of the day off after. Dude, does this feel like work for a moment?
No.
Like at all?
No.
It doesn't, ever.
My favourite part.
Yeah.
My favourite part is like when we clap just to sync all the audio to the
Ever.
to the video. And it's just like we clap and it just means, fuck, let's go.
It's
How
game
fun's
time.
this?
Game time.
How good is this? So pumped.
This doesn't feel like work. And if we did this, if this was a daily thing, like, hey, we should, just on that, going to go sideways here, bad. Can we do a live episode?
Yeah,
Like, let's do work out how we're going to stream this thing live.
absolutely.
all platforms, and
Can you
let's just go
stream
live.
audio live?
Can we?
You can.
Yeah. Apparently we can.
We
Yeah.
can. Iggy's the man. We got
Iggy's the
Iggy
man.
guys from Legacy Media here just filming us and doing some sick shit.
There you go. We can do a live episode.
Yeah.
So we should do that.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I think that's super
Do you reckon
cool.
we'll do that on our own, or would you have a guest in on a live episode?
It depends on the guest, I think. Depends, yeah.
Let's get GC in on a live episode.
Done. Call him. But yeah, this doesn't feel like work, man. Like if we did this every day, right? You would never sit there like, man, I'm tired. Like it's not tired from what?
If this was your full-time job as well, imagine that. Like, because there's people out there that all they do is podcast.
Yeah.
All they do is podcast. And so I drop 3 podcasts a week.
Why can't we do it?
So what you spend 3 hours of your week working? Is that what it is? Is that what you just told me then?
Why couldn't we do that? Imagine we had a pod every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah. I mean, again, prioritizing, isn't it? A lot of people ask me even just in my day-to-day life and operations, like, hey man, how do you fucking do so much in a day? It's like you'd be surprised how much you can actually do in a day when you prioritize and when you really focus on what you need to get done in the day.
And you stop doing dumb shit.
Stop doing dumb shit. There is so much wasted time in the day when you really stop and think about it. Going to the store, to the cafe around the corner and getting your favorite coffee. That'll fucking take you half an hour out of your life. When you get up off your desk, walk down there, order, see someone that you know, say good day for 5 minutes, walk back, get a phone call, and by the time you sit down and concentrate, okay, where was I? You've lost half an hour, 45 minutes in your day.
Here's the thing with that though. If you get something out of that, if that does something for your soul,
Yes.
it nourishes you in some way, you should do it.
But we're talking about priority. Yeah, exactly. And that's if that's a priority for you at that time. But if you're
Like
just getting up because you feel like a fucking coffee,
Nah.
get one of your employees to do it.
People like cleaning or cooking. Some people like it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
I love it. Or cleaning, for example. Like people love cleaning or ironing. I fucking hate ironing, man.
Yeah, you look like the type that would like ironing.
Yeah, do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not even going to go there.
Everyone's told me that before.
Everyone,
you get told that all the time.
It's a topic, yeah. Big thing.
See, they meet you for you like ironing.
I got an
don't you?
ironing page. I got yeah, I hate that shit. And there's people that love it though. People that love it. They're like, it's just therapeutic. It, you know what I mean? That's to them, that's not work. So going back to work-life balance, do you like what you do? You know, not you. I know you do. But do you like what you do? If you don't, do something about that instead of trying to constantly finish work and constantly recharge and feel like you need. Because, dude, honestly,
It'll help
what
you
would
massively.
you do with 8 hours a day?
What do you mean?
So, if you try and balance everything, it's 8 to 8 to 8.
Yeah.
Right? It's 8 hours of work, 8 hours of sleep, and 8 hours of life. Lifing.
Lifing.
Yeah.
Trademark.
What do you do with that? What do you do for 8 hours? What do you do? What could you do? I mean, there, you can have a shower. Let's say 20 minutes. What else? Half an hour.
Eat.
Let's say you take an hour shower. You got 7 hours. What else are you doing?
Eat.
Yeah. Okay, 2 hours for all your eating throughout the day. What else?
You're gonna
Let's
watch
say
TV?
let's say it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
So you still got an extra 4 hours. What are you doing? You're watching TV for 4 hours.
Maybe it's a good movie. You watch it twice.
Every day.
Every day.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like I'd get bored. Bad. And I don't cook or clean. So I don't waste any time there. So it's like, what are you going to do for 6-7 hours a day? But if you hate what you're doing, you'd probably rather do nothing.
Yeah. That's
True.
it. Playing video games.
You
Whatever
play
it
video games growing up?
Yeah, absolutely. I play it now.
Yeah.
Haven't for a while. But I would say, if someone says, do you play video games? Yeah, absolutely. I don't mind it. From time to time, like I haven't played, probably for a month. It's weird. I'll go through phases where I'm like, yeah, cool, I want to play, and I'll play, an hour, a couple of hours a night for like a week.
Do you play with your son?
Sometimes, yeah. Like I'll play. I'll play
better than
Mario
you?
Kart. Yeah, like he could probably beat me in Mario Kart.
Play Mario
Wii.
Kart? What do you
Yeah.
got? Nintendo 64?
Jesus, bro.
What do you
This is fucking hell.
what do you play Mario Kart on?
On the current one, the Switch.
I wouldn't have a clue in the world.
Come over, I'll change your life.
Yeah.
It's sick. It's actually a really good game.
Oh, we're going to
Really
duck out
good
for a
game.
moment, guys.
But he plays now Fortnite and stuff like that on the PlayStation and a few of those other games. I think there's one Roblox. Like even my daughter starts playing it a bit now, and they ask me to play, and I'll play sometimes with them just because they like playing with me. But even now, I've put just recently, funny enough, I put restrictions on game time because they are prioritizing that too much, and it's the type of thing that's very easily addictive, and you could sit there for 6 hours playing video games, especially as a
I
kid.
used to do that growing up.
Yeah. Look, I think I did at times as well. I would have days where this is probably when I'm older even, like teenager, say 15 onwards or
Isn't
whatever,
that-
and you can sit there and literally on a weekend and just play video games from
I'll do
8 a.m.
14-hour stints.
Yeah.
I was a hard worker.
Yeah. Put in the
I would,
reps.
yeah, putting in the hours, getting shit done.
That's it.
I used to play.
So to a degree, that does build some level of commitment to be able to sit there and do that. Well, cool. If you can apply that to something else you love, because you love playing video games if you're doing it for 14 hours.
Yeah. So why do you? And you don't feel like you need a break from it,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
So why do you have to
couldn't
finish
do that
work at
with
5?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not to say go work 97 hours a day, because that's not good either.
And not possible.
Yeah,
In a day.
for you.
Yeah. For you. That's it.
But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think prioritizing the things that matter to you. It's all about awareness, yeah? If you think about it, most things come back to awareness. Yeah, it's all about, do you know what you like? Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Why do you do what you do?
Yeah. I know people that have done things like even in construction. I had a mate many years ago that family friend did construction management. He was a year younger than me, so saw that I got into that and just saw it as a way to make heaps of money.
Construction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like as in.
I was trying to do it at one point.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So, but he looked at it from a management, like getting a construction management degree and working for a big tier 1 company. He went into that role on that purpose to make money, and he got into it and he fucking despised it with all his heart. He worked at a company. It was a good company, but he was just working like a dog Saturdays, Sundays. It wasn't a dead end job. Like he had the potential and he was doing well, but he just grew to fucking resent working. He would wake up in the morning and he'd just tell me, he goes, fuck, I hate working, man. And it wasn't the company.
I remember feeling like that.
Yeah, it wasn't the company though.
Like
it was what he was actually doing. Like he couldn't be fucked dealing with people, with the trades, with all the shit he had to do. He just wasn't enjoying it at all. And you know what he ended up doing? Like 3 years in, he quit. And he worked at an aquarium for 2 years because he loved fish. He loved fish. He loved aquariums. He's always been a massive fisher. Like he loved going fishing. He loved the outdoors, boating. And he just worked at an aquarium. He just knew everything about fishes and temperatures and water fucking balances and pH levels. And he just did that for 2 whole years. Worked at this aquarium in the area.
Was he happy?
Fucking loved it. And then he came back to construction. He worked for a different company, but he was like better. Like he felt. I think he just found like he needed that break from what he was doing, and he just realized, okay, cool. It's not all about the money. I just needed to find the right company to work for, and then he's still working in construction now.
That's a big lesson.
Doing very well. It was a lesson for him. Yeah, he just got into it for the wrong reason, and ended up hating what he's doing. And then I think a lot of people do that as well. They get into it because their parents are doctors, their parents are teachers or dentists or whatever they've grown up to be, and that was what they had to do as well. Or they just don't commit. They don't find their purpose. They don't go to uni. They don't get a trade, and they end up working a dead-end job at a cafe that they genuinely fucking hate.
Yeah, that's the word.
Or an office job, you know, and they hate it, and they just go through the motions, and it's Groundhog Day for them, and they're the people that end up suffering mentally because they just don't feel like there's any in or out. Yeah, and they don't have that. They buy into that work-life balance and they're looking at the calendar whilst they're at work, going, okay, I can't wait 3 weeks until holidays. Oh, I can't wait till I book in my Easter trip. I'm going to take 6 weeks off. I'm going to do that. I'm going to Greece. It's going to be the best. I need a break from this shithole. And that's when you're fucked up. That's when you're losing. And when you're like that in your job, and if you're listening to this, and that's you,
do something.
You're losing. You're losing at the game. You're behind. You are the last player on the board. You're losing. What the fuck are you going to change to get in front?
Dude, I remember feeling like that. I remember that feeling. I remember hating that.
And did it motivate you to get out of that?
Yeah, I would like to think that I've always been someone to take some level of action.
Yeah.
When there's something I'm unhappy with. And yeah, I remember, so I was an apprentice. Yeah, so for me, there was like the 4-year commitment.
As a mechanic?
Yeah, it was a 4-year commitment. I was working at Mercedes-Benz. I was like, this is it. Like, there is no moving.
Do you reckon that was a good apprenticeship, working at Mercedes?
Yeah.
From learning about engines and cars and shit like that?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was really cool.
Yeah, they give you a really good, like the program itself, I'm just out of curiosity asking, could you leave that 4-year apprenticeship and go out and build any other cars from the shit you learnt as an apprentice there?
I could.
Or did you learn Mercedes, you know, how they operate?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I could, but
you did shit previously before, like you were into cars long before you got your apprenticeship. I also
used to spend all my weekends working in the garage.
Yeah.
Doing backyarders.
Yeah.
Like I'd make more on a weekend than I would.
At your apprenticeship.
Yeah. And I spent my whole weekends doing that. And I learned a lot through that. Does everyone? No. Some people, it's a job and they switch off at 4 o'clock. We finish at 4:06.
Yes, I used to have mates that were getting like in high school, or when we finished high school, they got apprenticeships in construction, electrical, plumbers. They would work Monday to Friday, below their whole wage on Saturday.
Yeah, lots of people do
the whole wage. Like fucking, like they didn't have petrol money. Their whole fucking wage
paycheck
was gone
to paycheck, yeah.
Saturday.
Even week.
Because we'd go out to the pub or wherever it was that we were going, and they would just go fucking boom, 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 drinks, shots, drinks, food, and just go mental. And had
Drowning your sorrows.
they'd have fucking $50 to get them through till the next week.
Drowning your sorrows. Every time I see someone doing that, if it's someone I know, I look at them and I'm like, what are you drowning, man? Like, what? I tell them, like, what are you drowning, dude? Like that bad? Like, all right, go have a drink. But like that many drinks? What are you drowning? What are you unhappy with in your life?
I mean, then at 18, 19 years old, I think a lot of those, you're still a kid. Yeah, it's just the hype up of going out and getting drunk and having fun with your mates, picking up, whatever the fuck they're doing. And that's
all you know.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
I can safely say I never got into that space. No, me. As in, I'd go out and have nights out where I was drinking, but I got shitty. If I blew my fucking wage on a weekend, I would be pissed off. Like, it would annoy me. I'm like, what a waste. No matter how much fun the night was, I was just like, oh, fuck.
Especially if you're working hard for it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I always did. I always worked hard for my money. I was like, fuck, am I really going to blow? And because I was studying, I was pretty much working part-time. So I didn't necessarily, I probably made just as much as an apprentice anyway over the week.
When you were a fencer?
Yeah, I was doing carpentry and labouring and fencing.
You done carpentry as well?
Oh, I never did an apprenticeship, but I worked with carpenters and then they taught me the ropes. So
you can slap two pieces of wood together.
I can slap them together.
Yeah.
Will they be?
That's what carpenters do,
That's
right?
it, they slap
They just slap wood together.
So I can get one of those.
I almost clapped. I might be anchored to clapping after you. I almost went.
Oh, how funny. How funny.
Yeah, where were we?
About people hating what they were doing, and then we talked about your mechanic.
Yeah, so I was saying I was committed 4 years. It wasn't until after that period when I finished my apprenticeship, and then I was like,
did you go into sales
this
after?
it? I became a service advisor.
What's that?
You know the person you speak to when you drop off the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do that. So you've got your apprenticeship. You know how to fix it, and then people will come in and say, "Hey, my car's fucked."
Yeah, and I'd sit
and you'd
them
say,
down
"Yeah,
and
it's fucked.
do all the paperwork with them.
You need a new flux capacitator."
Yeah.
And they're like, "How much is that going to cost you?" $43,000
Cash.
Cash.
Yeah.
You go 42 if you give.
If you pay me direct.
Pay me direct.
Yeah, you do have to pay to my bank account.
Yeah.
That's how it works here.
I make the rules.
Yeah, I don't make this up. Things is a game. And then when I did that, and I was like, "Is this it?" Like, I do not want to do this, man. Like, you know what I mean? And I felt like I remember driving into work and just venting the whole time, like just about how much I hate it, how much I don't want to do this, da da da.
To yourself.
I used to carpool me and a guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we used to just talk about the whole trip, 45-minute drive into work.
Yeah.
We're both just venting.
Which Mercedes was it?
About South Melbourne.
South Melbourne.
Yeah. Venting about how much we hate it.
Yeah.
The whole time. And then I left, did the whole real estate stint. Couldn't do real estate anymore. Got offered a job at Mercedes. Went back. Third day in.
Quit.
Realised what
Why
the
don't I come
fuck
back?
am I doing here again?
Yeah. Why did I come back?
You know when things happen, have you ever had that? I don't know if you've ever had it, but that was the first time for me when something happens and you look and you think, oh my God, I completely forgot about this. Like I had completely forgotten that this shit happens here. Like I was so far past it that only until I came back and realized, oh my God, this is why I left.
It's kind of like a toxic relationship then, isn't it?
Yeah,
you remember, I don't think I have either, but it's also, I can understand it where you're in a relationship that has good times, but the majority of it is shit. Yeah, but all you remember is the good.
Yeah, and then you get back.
And then you come back and you're like, no, you get back, you go, okay, yeah, I do. We did have some good times. Yeah, we did have some good times, and then it's like, oh, no, now I remember why we weren't here in the first place. So I never really had that with my working career. Never really had that time where, like, there was days where I couldn't be fucked going into work. But
that's
never
normal, though. That's normal.
Yeah.
You're going to have that.
Do you know, funny enough, just on this topic, yesterday, I couldn't be fucked. I couldn't be I don't know what it was. I was tired over the weekend. What did I do yesterday when I felt like that?
So when you have those days.
I was sitting on my computer. I remember this. I was sitting on my computer and I just we're at the end of the year. So there's not huge, I've always got heaps to do. There's always 10,000 things I could be doing. And I was sitting there, I was like, nothing was a real priority. Nothing was pressing. Nothing had to be done. I was sitting there, I'm like, this is silly. What am I doing? May as well just go home if I'm just going to sit here. Then I turned over to my board and where I've got a whole bunch of tasks that I need to do. I just stood up, I looked at it. Oh, cool, I'm going to grab that. I took it off my board, that post-it note. I said, I'm going to do that. Sat down and I did it. And I went back to it and grabbed another one. Did that. And I just fucking discipline. That's what it came down to. And I actually ended up having a relatively productive day. But at the start of the day, I was just like, man, I'm tired. I don't know why I was tired. I had plenty of sleep the night before. I was tired the previous day, the afternoon. I don't know. Must have just been run down. And I went over to my board and I grabbed my task and I completed that task. And then I went on to the next one. And then I started thinking about, okay, cool, what am I going to do next year? And it just got into the rhythm. And I ended up having a decent day's work.
If I have those days, I usually I'll kill the day off.
Yeah, interesting. That's a good idea too.
Yeah,
I like that.
If it's 3 p.m. and I know that I'm just going to fuck around here for the next 3 hours, I'll stop now.
Yeah.
Stop now, call it, like, you know what I mean? Go do whatever you want, relax, get it out of your system, recharge, and come back tomorrow. And then I'll be back at it next day, first thing in the morning, boom. Like,
it's so cool. I like that a lot. And I've very rarely had that. Like, I honestly cannot remember the last time I've ever felt like that, where I just couldn't be fucked working that day. But I could have very easily done what you just said.
Yeah.
Just said, you know what, guys?
I just don't think
I'm out for the day.
Nothing worse than working like a 12-hour day and
you don't want to be there.
You've done it at 30%. And it's like, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Like, that's such a waste of your time.
And it's what we're talking about. We're going to prioritize. You just then said, cool, work isn't working for me right this second. I'm going to prioritize just leaving because I'm not going to be productive.
Push it to the side for the moment.
That's it. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to do this.
Massage,
I'm going to do
go
that.
do whatever I want. Yeah. Go eat something. Go for a run. Go to the gym. Get something going that's going to get you back in. How often would you say you completely unplug?
Every 12 months.
Once a year?
Yeah.
Where you completely...
Yeah, because I'm fortunate because the construction industry shuts down for 2 to 3 weeks over the Christmas break.
Did you say you're fortunate or unfortunate?
No, fortunate.
Oh, you are
in the
fortunate.
sense that because the whole industry shuts down, there's not a huge amount for me to do anyway, other than working on myself, on my business, which is a forever game. But it's a time when I can genuinely turn off. I actually enjoy this period of time because I know I'm not going to get 200 phone calls. It's just not happening. Whereas at work, my phone rings all the time.
That's sick.
Yeah, there's better days than others, and now I train people that are calling me to call others. Like if they call me about a project-related item, I'll say, yeah, cool. Have you spoken to Simon? Have you spoken to Mike? No. Okay, we'll speak to them. Don't call me about this stuff. So all the subbies and trades, like all the subcontractors, generally know not to call me because even though I know the answer, I generally don't give it to them, to the question. I'd say, no, call Mike because he's on site.
Don't reinforce bad behavior.
Yeah, absolutely. We had that conversation with you the other day. You mentioned that. And you didn't want to reinforce that particular behavior that someone was doing by giving them the response that they were after. Yeah. And
That's a good way
to put it.
Good way of saying it without saying it.
Yeah. And yeah, so the people, and it's also as well, like I don't know I don't know what Mike's thinking on site. So I don't want to then tell him the answer and then it contradicts what Michael was trying to fix on the job. And then he goes off and does that. And then Mike's like, oh, why'd you do that? Oh, George told me.
Yeah, and then you stepped on his toes.
Yeah, so now I let the guys run their own race. And then if it's a matter of something that needs my attention, they will call me.
Don't fuck around.
I don't fuck around. I'm at work. Like I'm here at 6 a.m. pretty much every day. Pretty much every day. And I love it. Come in, I do an hour and a half before anyone's in the office. Don't get phone calls. Yeah. And I actually work really productively during that time. But even after it, like I don't count the hours. I don't look at my clock and go, oh, okay, fuck another 2 more hours until lunch or until I go home or whatever it is. It's not, this is what I have to do during this time. And I've got my list of things. I've got everything pinned there. So I know the actions and everything I have to take. And I'm always looking to do more and how I do more. It's like I called you, no, when was it? Yesterday you sent me a video. Oh, you sent me something on WhatsApp and I was walking the dog and I left my AirPods at home. And it was funny, you sent me this. Okay, what was the video about?
You talking about your mate with the Ferrari?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'll post the video today anyway, but
so by the time you hear this, about 3 weeks ago.
Yes, about 7 weeks ago. Yeah. That's how far advanced we are with our podcast. You guys are 7 weeks behind. We've already had this conversation. Yeah. So it was funny. It was about a video about, success and giving up on your dreams and having certain things and mindset and all that sort of stuff. And I left my AirPods at home. Normally I'll listen to a podcast. This one, obviously.
Clearly.
when I'm walking the dog. And I left my AirPods at home. I was like, fuck it. And I couldn't be bothered turning around, so I just kept walking. But it left me alone with my own thoughts. And I was walking and I was thinking. And I'm like, okay. Coming off that video, which was talking about my mate that had given up on driving a Ferrari and never owning one. And I wasn't necessarily thinking about the Ferrari or the supercar. I was just thinking, okay, what needs to happen now? What do I have to think about? What has to happen for us to get that car, to get that house, and I'm walking past, I live in a beachside suburb, and I'm walking past all these homes. I'm looking, oh, that one's nice. That one's nice. I could have that one. I want to buy that one. Why not buy multiple? Why have just one?
By the street.
Yeah, by the street.
Suburb.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? What has to change in order for me to get these things? It's funny. It's like we always talk about, vibrating on the same wavelength. And you had sent me that video as I'm thinking about all these things and what we needed to do and what needed to change and how we're going to get there. And when we get there, what's that look like? And another thing that popped into my head was a person just last week won 15 million in the Powerball, the lottery. And then I was like, yeah, okay, what would happen if I won that? All right, if I won $15 million right now, what would happen? What would change? And it got me thinking, okay, cool. Well, I wouldn't stop working, first of all. I'd definitely keep working. And I would keep working as if I didn't win $15 million either. Okay, well, what would change in my business? How would I go about things differently? Okay, well, I'll definitely put on a GM for my construction business.
Yeah, you'd scale way faster.
Yeah, but I think I know what you're about. I kind of think you're on the same wavelength anyway, but I'll say what I'm going to say.
Every day.
Yeah, just cast every day. But it kind of got to that. I was like, okay, so I put a GM on. Okay, well, then what would that mean my day would look like? I was like, okay, I'm going to focus more on Builder Elite and doing the consulting stuff. Okay, cool. Then, okay, we could do more podcasts. All right. Could focus more on creating content. Could focus on being strategic with the types of projects and the direction I'm going in and everything there. And then I stopped to think again. I don't need $15 million to do that.
You can do all that now.
I can do all that now.
That's sick.
How sick is that?
Yeah.
And all it took was for me not to have my AirPods and walk the dog and think about that sort of shit and think massively and the realm of possibility. Yet I'm stuck here as let's call it the GM of my business, running the show, when I could do all of that now and just go to that next level.
Stopping yourself. I think clarity is power. And sometimes do you ever drive? I drive, I can go long distance drives, like 45 minutes an hour and have nothing playing and just sit there in silence in my car.
Yeah.
Just with my thoughts.
I genuinely like that. I actually like driving.
It's only weird when someone gets in the car and says, you're not listening to anything. And you're like,
is it?
No.
When
you don't
someone's in the car and you don't talk to them for 45 minutes, just shut the fuck up.
And they're talking and you're not replying.
No, you just don't. You tell them, shh.
I've got a sign.
Don't talk.
A sign on the dash.
No talk. If
Don't
this
touch
light
me.
is on, do not. Don't touch me. I'm driving.
But it's genuinely something I do. And sometimes I don't even mean to do it. I'll just jump in the car and I'll have a million things on my mind and I'll just put my phone on sometimes I'll just throw my phone on the passenger seat or put it in the pocket where the cigarette lighter is and I'll just drive and then I'll be like 20 minutes in and I'll be like, should play some songs, like play some music or play an audiobook or something or a podcast.
This podcast.
Yeah, and I do that and I do, but I feel like that lets you recharge. That allows you, that is your moment of, I'm going to take 20 minutes here and just catch up with my thoughts. Another thing I do is I sit down and I write.
So I don't do that too much.
Yeah,
I think I want to get to it. I can see that. Maybe I'll do that over my break.
Just free write.
Yeah. But what do you write about?
Ask yourself a question.
No shit.
Yeah. Be like,
So
what do you want?
Any question.
What do you want?
Just put down what do you want.
What do you want? What do I want? I think I want this. Why do you want that? Well, I think I want this because I feel like it's going to give me that. But why do you think that? What is it that makes you believe that? Do you know what I mean? And you just end up going down this massive rabbit hole and then you come out of it and you're like, oh yeah, I don't want that. Or, hey, guaranteed I do want that. I know for a fact. I've just broken it down. And it's just it's revitalizing.
Powerful stuff.
Sick, dude.
Powerful stuff.
Sick. And then maybe it's those little things as well that allow you to
have that clarity and that awareness.
And then not want. You don't need
the balance.
8 hours a
You don't
day
need
off.
the balance.
Yeah.
It's exactly it. You don't need the balance.
Or maybe those things.
You have a greater purpose. You have a greater level of awareness and
Or,
understanding.
wait, hold on. Maybe it is balance though.
With what?
Maybe it is
Okay.
you can work 14 hours and do a 20-minute thing, and that balances.
For you,
Who's to say? Yeah, who's to
That's
say
right.
what? How can you tell me what
Even-
balances?
Yeah,
for me?
that's right. That's right.
So I do believe in work-life balance.
Jesus Christ.
Just to come full circle on that. But yeah, I think
Yeah, so that could be your balance. It
And
could be, but you're still prioritizing one a little bit more than the other, and I think there's always.
but
the
what? So
blend.
based on what time? Like how much time you spend doing
Time,
it? Is that
effort? Could be effort as well.
yeah? Time, effort. What else? It's those two things, really, isn't it?
Resources, potentially. I don't know. Money.
Yeah.
Do you think uncontrolled work burns you out?
Uncontrolled work. Do we think uncontrolled work?
So just things that
burns you
pop
out?
up. Things that pop up in the day.
I think that's depends on the personality type. Some people need massive structure, and some people can walk into a room and put out fires all day and sit there.
It
Job's
comes
done,
down.
yeah.
It comes back to the level of your training
Yeah.
to a degree, and how you react to things that are different, and being
Yeah.
able to adapt to that change.
Yeah. I also think you get better at lacking structure. Because
When
structure's good, really good for people who like the more structure's great. Don't get me wrong. Structure's a really, really good thing, and wherever you can have it in any part of your life, you should. But I also feel like not having structure and being able to move forward is something you get better at as time passes.
Yeah, and then that way, when something does come up,
Yeah.
you're just it's not as it doesn't phase you as much.
Yeah.
You just get there and you're like, okay, cool. That's
Seen-
all right.
seen
We'll
this
sort this
before,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
I've
you've
seen
seen
this
this before. Is that all?
It's Tuesday.
It comes
It's
exactly.
Tuesday. Is that
Exactly.
Tuesday?
So that's how it is Tuesday. Yeah, that's exactly how I would do it now. And you look back, and you said about looking back. I don't know if it was today or a previous episode. You look back at where you were and how you used to handle something like that 5 years ago, and then you come across that now today, and you're like, "Fuck! I used to be so stressed out when this happened.
Yeah.
I
Now
was
it's
so
like
upset when this happened. Now I'm just
now
like, are
I'm
you
kind of
serious?"
excited.
Yeah, it's actually true. How weird
Yeah.
is that?
It's like
I've been burnt by quite a few clients over the years, and particularly, actually not over the years. Let's just call it the COVID years, because they're all fucked. People went stupid during that time, and I've dealt with the worst of the worst clients. I've dealt with the best clients too, and now it's not like I'm fearful of having a bad client anymore, and it's like I really go out of my way to make sure that they understand their boundaries and their obligations to me and how we operate as a company. So much so that when an issue does arise, I can pull them up on it. But even if it does, I'm prepared now. I've got those runs on the board where I've been able to handle that difficult situation. I can turn to them and say, listen, we discussed this pre-contract signing. We've discussed this during the job. You can't act this way. You can't be this way. You can't do these things. There's consequences if you do that. And the consequences are you're in breach of contract. Here are your notices. Here is this. Here is this. The ultimate consequence is we terminate the contract. But really putting them in their place and making sure they understand the boundaries. Now, 5-6 years ago, I would be so fucking nervous to even call up a client or email them to say that, because I was like, oh, I don't want to upset them. The customer's always right. You know, I want to make sure my reputation is really good. I want to deliver exceptional service. But the thing I've learnt is it's like the standard you walk past is the standard you accept.
you get what you tolerate.
That's right. That's right. And I was tolerating that poor behavior and rewarding, like you said, like we said before, that poor behavior when they were dealing with me. And I was like, no. Now I've got a clear line in the sand and say, listen, when you cross that line, I won't accept it. I've had even stuff like just recently, a client called up the guys and was speaking to my employee in a disrespectful way and condescending way. I called them up, the client.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, listen, I need to make something exceedingly clear to you. You do not have permission to talk to my teammates, to my team members like that. Okay, if you do that again, there'll be serious consequences. I'll start to get involved. And I go, you don't want me to involved in this. I won't tolerate it. Speak with everyone with respect. We're not your employees. We're not your child. We're not your therapist. I'm your builder. Understand the boundaries, because if you cross them again, there's going to be serious consequences. Oh, I'm sorry, George, just had a bad day. I've had this. That's fine. I'm not attacking. I'm just saying be respectful. They don't come to work to listen to that shit. Okay? And I'm not going to tolerate it. You talk to me like that, I'll fuck you up.
You know, I told you the story about what happened at Mercedes. Did I ever tell you I had a manager who was Greek named George
Holy shit.
at Mercedes?
Was he a legend of a bloke, or was he a fucking? It's
I
going to
don't
go one way or the other, or he was just.
We were
the
mates
worst?
at the start.
At
We
the
punched-
start.
Yeah, we ended up
Just
punching
the
him.
beginning.
But
Well,
listen
cool.
to
We're,
this.
we're mates now.
I'll
So
tell you.
give it a couple more weeks.
Couple more weeks and
Yeah.
start throwing fists.
Interesting episode, that one.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
We'll make sure the cameras are rolling.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing.
Mm.
I had a lady abusing me at Mercedes. Had a lady abusing me, and I was like the star of the team. Like I was running rings around everyone. And a lady like ripping through, like to the extent where everyone stopped and turned because she was yelling her head off.
Oh shit. Karen?
And-
Karen?
Nah,
What car did she have?
she had a C class.
What?
She
What,
was
C1, like
Asian
C180?
lady. Can't remember.
Yes, it
Black.
wasn't like a
All I remember
C60.
was
Was
black.
it a
No,
C63?
no, no, it wasn't a C60.
So she
It was like
poverty
an old.
pack.
It was like a 203.
It was the
You know what
poverty,
203s?
yeah, the poverty pack. That's what it was. Mercedes.
She was ripping through me,
Yeah.
like absolutely ripping through me, and I'm sitting there like, and you can't do anything, and I'm just there, and I'm looking at her like trying to calm her down.
Yeah, trying and be professional.
And then my manager comes in from the side, George. He comes in and he's like, "Excuse me, I'm the manager here. Both of you in my office." And then
Ooh,
I looked
both
at
of
her-
you?
Yeah, I looked at her like, "You happy?" Like,
You have
got us in
you,
trouble.
you fucked us up now.
Anyway, so he walks her over and then he slows down and he comes up to me and he's like, "Are we good?" And I said, "Do you want to happen?" He said, "No, are we good?"
Oh,
No, he said, "Are we good here or are we fucked?"
yeah.
And I said, "No, we're good."
Hmm.
And he's like, "All right." And he goes into the office, ripped through it.
Good.
Absolutely ripped. She left crying.
Yeah, good.
And then at the end, I go, "Do you want to know what happened?"
It's not even being that aggressive that's good. It's just I'm saying from the
Dude,
perspective of
I could not believe the way he was talking to her.
So I wouldn't do that necessarily. I wouldn't. I would still try and maintain professional, like almost have that stoic approach. That you
Not all Georges are the same.
not all of them are the same. They don't all look the same. But have that stoic approach where you're not letting your emotions get the best of you. You're firm, but without.
Ripped through it. Absolutely ripped through it.
Did
And then
not
at
give
the
her a
end, she leaves crying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm like 23 years old. Yeah, I'm still like young.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Do you want to know what happened?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, he's like, "I trust you." I'm like, "Oh, that's it." And he told this
What
day.
happened?
I can't tell you.
Oh shit! You can tell one George at least.
There was, I'll tell him.
Yeah.
Nah, but yeah, it was.
You're not friends with him anymore.
We're not, but that's okay.
Did he
But
tear
yeah,
tricks off you one day?
he stuck. Yeah,
Is that what it was?
yeah,
Yeah,
massive.
it was your fault, wasn't it?
No,
Oh, it wasn't.
yeah, it was a long story. I'll explain it to you.
Next podcast.
Over the
episode.
next podcast. But he stuck up for his team the same way you did.
And how much did you respect him after that?
Yeah, he was like, he went from George to God for a while.
Yeah, but imagine how powerful that is as an employee to know that your boss has
Yeah,
your
it was
back.
like, he's got my back.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's advice to everyone that's a business owner: protect your own, look after them. Okay, back them up. If they've done the right thing. Now, if your employees went out there and did something malicious and then you back them up, well, then you're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Get the facts straight, trust them, understand the position and
Do
what
the right
happened.
thing, yeah.
If the client is reacting to something that your employee did that was really bad and detrimental to the project, that was malicious, not accidental. If it was an accident, again, mate, people make mistakes. Oh, you put my wall in the wrong spot. Build a fucking bridge, get over it,
go
and
over the
I'll
wall.
rebuild this wall where it needs to be built.
Build a bridge
No?
over the wall.
That's it. That's it. Build a bridge over the wall. We'll fix it, but you don't need to react in that way. It was a mistake. Relax. Shit happens.
Like, he
But
just
backing your employees, massive thing. Massive thing.
ripped through it. Like, I've never seen anyone.
You know, in all honesty,
Too much. It was too much.
but this is another thing. Some people need to be told to get fucked. Let's be serious. There are people in this world that need a solid fuck you. There are. And sometimes
agree.
that's the only way they learn.
Yeah.
That's the only way. When you shut them down so fucking hard that they realize that, oh, holy shit, I'm actually a fuckhead. Sometimes they need that. And maybe they're better for it thereafter. And they go, you know what? I'm not going to turn around like that.
You're making the
Not
world,
gonna do that again.
making the world a better place.
With one fuck you at a time.
One George at a time.
My wife today, I was speaking to her just before actually, and she called me up. I was on the phone to her while she was in the car. And she was driving home from Coles. And all of a sudden I hear her, she presses the horn, she's like, "Go fuck yourself." And I'm just laughing. And she's like, I'm fucking sick of all these fucking idiots, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, she's abusing someone on the horn. Like, windows weren't down or anything like that. She's just in the car. And she's like, oh, sorry about that. Like, as I'm listening to this on the phone, I'm just laughing. I go, what on earth happened? And she goes, oh, she just cut me off, and then he rolls his eyes. And she's like, people are fucked. I said, first of all, you just laugh when that happens. You know what I mean? There's no, like, it's just funny. I find it funny when people do stupid shit or yell at me or stick their finger up at me. Just laugh, first of all.
Are you heavy on the horn?
I have been in the past. I'm not so much now. Now I genuinely laugh. When someone does, like, sticks their finger up me or tells me, you're a fuck you, I just laugh. I don't let it affect me, because I said to her, okay, in 6 months' time, you're not even going to remember this moment. That's why I get upset now. You're upset. He's just rolled his eyes and driven off. Do you think he's thinking about you now, right now? Okay, even if I call my wife now, you still upset about that guy that rolled his eyes? Like, she won't even, she's like, what are you talking about?
What guy?
What, exactly. It's so insignificant that yet you let yourself get so worked up over it, over something that someone else does. You can't control what people do. I tell that to my kids too. Why are you getting upset over something that you cannot control? You can't control what other people do. They're going to do and say things that don't make you happy, that upset you. Don't let it. Don't let it. Be in control of the situation. That's why I try now, and even when I have a difficult conversation or something I need to do or talk with someone, I try and be as calm as possible, but demanding the respect through my tonality. You know what I mean?
Isn't that just emotional maturity?
Yeah, and I think you've got to,
You've got the ability, it's stability. Like,
It
it's
is.
your ability to sit down and say, look at it logically.
Yeah, and I, for
There's
many
no-
years, haven't had that. I think you've got to practice, like, you've got to get to I think you have to get through that shit bit. And
You do seem quite zen today.
more times than not. I
Today?
try to be. Yeah, today I'm chill. I'm chill today. But more times than not, yeah, for sure. It's very rare where I'll lose my shit. Like, the last time I remember, in all honesty, I had a tradie go to one of my jobs, and I haven't worked with this guy since. And my client was on site. She was a lady. And he laid all these tiles, these pavers, and all the grout had cracked because he didn't do it properly. I said, listen, I'm not paying you until you fix this. Like, I'm going to pay you. I pay everyone. All right, your money's safe, but you need to do the right thing. I'm not going to pay you in full. He's like, no, you pay me in full before I fix it. I said, no, it doesn't work like that. You need to give me the product, and then I'll pay you, because I don't know you're coming back or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Anyway, he gets on site, and then he starts, carrying on like a pork chop, and he started abusing my client. And because she didn't let him into the house was finished, and she didn't let him in. And he starts like, you fucking let me in, or I'll rip up everything, I'll pull down your fence, and all this sort of shit. And she calls me. She's like really upset. She goes, oh, he's calling me doing this thing, and I called him up. I said, listen here, you fucking piece of shit. Oh, I tore shreds off him. She goes, I'm going to rip this up. I go, if you fucking touch a single tile on there, I'm going to come down there myself. I'm going to fucking fix you up. And you go, you really think you're going to get paid then? And I just gave it to him. I go, who the fuck do you think you are? A woman that's living on her own in a house, and you're coming in beating your chest up saying, let me in or I'm going to pull your fence down. Who the fuck do you think you are? Like, that time I felt that I had to really give it to him.
Yeah, some people need that though.
Yeah, and do you know what the funny thing is? He changed his tune straight away.
Yeah.
As soon as someone told him to shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
I
I'm
guarantee
sorry,
that
I'm
if
just
there was
trying to here to do the job.
if there was a
I said,
bloke-
I don't give a fuck.
If there was a bloke there, he probably wouldn't have acted that way.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
He's a
cowards.
tough guy,
People
yeah.
like that are
Tough guy.
fucking
and
gutless.
Just to go there.
And because then he started beating it, again, he didn't start off like that. I had to put him down. He goes, oh, fucking come to your office. I go, motherfucker, you wait where you are. I'm coming to you. Okay, you want to come to the office? You can come here, but I'm coming to you right fucking now. You think you're going to talk to me? You want to talk to someone like that? You talk to me like that. I'll fucking fix you up. And it's not that I was going to punch on with him, like physically. But I put him in his place to say, listen, this is not an acceptable level of communication with someone.
Behavior, yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't do that. You can't talk to people like that, especially a woman that was on her own in the house and you're threatening to pull down the fence so you can come fix your fuck up at the end of the day. So, I mean, people do exist, but this is another thing. And I actually heard Andrew Tate say this.
Top G.
Top G.
Top.
Second top. I want to say I'm top G. I want to be top G.
Oh,
How do I become top G?
You are very G.
Very G. Very George. Top George.
Top George.
Top George. That's what I'm talking.
That's going to stick.
Can I? Yeah, absolutely.
Top George.
Say welcome to $1 Million Days.
Yeah,
My
Robbie
name's
and Top George.
Robbie and Top George. Holy shit. That is so good. I'm going to change my Instagram profile. Top George. Andrew Tate.
What did he say?
Some people are willing to go to fucking jail. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because some people are stupid. Like some people don't give a fuck to the level that they will kill someone and go to jail.
Yeah.
And he genuinely says, as much as he plays that role and macho and alpha male and all that sort of shit, he goes, he will do everything in his power to avoid conflict as far as practicable. If someone gets up in his face, he'll drop them. But to argue with someone, to get in a fight with someone, to do all those things, he goes, he'll avoid it as far as practicable. And I think that's such a smart move. Why am I going to yell at this person and toot my horn at him because he's rolled his eyes? And
what if this guy gets out and shoots you?
What is it? Exactly?
Yeah.
He goes, there's people in the world that will fuck you up. And the example he used, he goes, he went out one night and he was with a girl and they were lining up at a KFC to get some food. And there was a huge line. And then these blokes get out of the car, they walk all the way, like big guys, they walk all the way to the front of the line and they start ordering. They push in front of everyone. And then the chick he was with went to go off and mouth off at these guys. He grabs her, he goes, shut the fuck up, do not say a word. All right? And then she sat down and she didn't say anything. They just stood in the line. And there was another girl that in front of them that mouthed off. Who the fuck do you think you are? We've been waiting for 20 minutes. Get the fuck at the back of the line. You stupid fuckers, whatever. Just abusing it. Give it to him. The guy turned around. One of the guys turned around, walked up to the chick and dropped her. Dropped her. He goes, I've never seen it before. He goes, he fucking knocked her out. He laughed, went back and ordered KFC, got in the car and left. There are people out there in this world that will go to jail. Why and you just got knocked the fuck out because you had to wait. Three massive blokes have just gone and pushed in front of you in KFC
because you lacked emotional stability
and the awareness of the situation. But that can happen in so many situations in your life where you're going to do or say something. You go, oh fuck, I probably shouldn't have done that. You know,
imagine this customer dropped my manager.
Exactly, but that would have been a great YouTube video.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Now that I know who he is.
Huh?
Now that I know what he's like.
Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting and definitely a good way to approach conflict and just realize that it's not worth your time to argue with someone that's an idiot. Like, why argue with an idiot?
Yeah, there's a saying about that. When you're arguing with an idiot, someone from a distance can't tell who the idiot is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, it just looks like two idiots arguing. It's like, don't. Just save yourself the time.
That's it.
And the trouble.
And the thing is, like, you walking away, it's like it won't affect you in any way. You know
Won't
what I mean?
matter.
Won't matter.
In 3 days, 3 months, 3 years,
That's it.
30
That's it.
years, 300 years.
Cool. So work-life balance doesn't exist. Does exist.
It's fake.
Do whatever you want. I don't care.
As long as you feel balanced.
As long as you feel like you're accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish and that you're doing it in a way that makes you mentally, physically, spiritually happy.
Yeah, and you live in a life that you desire, you
That's
deserve.
right. A life that you've created for yourself.
Yeah, that's
by
what
your
matters.
own means.
Not fucking working 8 hours a day in a job you hate.
40-hour weeks, having the weekends off because society told you that that's what you need to do to have balance, to be happy, to make X amount of dollars before you're going to be a level of success that is acceptable. It's all propaganda shit that you've been sold into that your parents, your grandparents, yourself, your kids are all being sold into because that's what is deemed as successful in society. But it's not. You could be highly successful selling paddle pop sticks, making 50 grand a month at home in your pajamas.
On TikTok.
On TikTok.
That's what I'm going to do.
Put paddle pop sticks in your pajamas?
Yeah.
I like it.
That's the goal.
That's the end game.
50K a month, that's a good wicket.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's as silly as that sounds.
People are doing it.
Silly as it sounds. There's someone selling paddle pop sticks making a lot of fucking money right now.
Yeah. Well, someone's going to supply the world with paddle pop sticks.
Mr. Paddle Pop needs them. What's he going to use?
All right, easy.
Awesome. I love it. I love what we're doing.
Yeah, I think it's cool, man. I think we're providing a good value.
I
Very
don't
good
think.
chats. You get to I've said this. I put up a post about this. I said, if you're thinking of starting a podcast, just fucking do it. Like seriously, how
Can't you do
much
that?
are you thinking? Are you able to process your thoughts? Just talking about it here, especially the episodes where you don't have time to think about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, boom, we're talking about this.
That's it.
Yeah.
They're the best.
And you're
How
like-
fun are they too?
Yeah, and then you got to talk, and then you're like, okay, cool, yeah, do I think that? I don't, da, da, da. And then it's like, you walk away from it, you're like, hey, I got value out of that.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
absolutely. And I feel that, it also shows our level of training, ability, skill set to be able to have that conversation off the cuff. Like
It's
we know
improv.
we know what the fuck we're talking about. It's at that level now. It's not like, oh, let's just do this for entertainment and to get the likes on the gram. Like we know our shit. That's why I don't mind dropping a topic on you, because I know you're going to be able to provide some significant value to the end listener.
Until we don't, huh?
Until we don't.
Until
Well,
we're
if we
like,
don't,
we're
we
going to
go-
talk about cakes.
We go sideways very quickly. What's your favorite? Do you like cake?
Cake?
Yeah.
I can eat cake.
Do you
I
like it though?
Yeah, what's like favorite cake would be like a cheesecake though.
One of the best cheesecakes I've ever had was in Hawaii. It's the Cheesecake Factory, I think it was called.
I got one.
It was
in
like one of
Mooney
those.
Ponds.
No, it was like one of those big American brand ones, and it was
Yeah.
it was
Is
a
it
New
not
York
the same
cheesecake. No, I think,
Cheesecake Factory here?
no, maybe it's not Factory. Fuck, can't remember what it's called. Anyway, it was a cool shop.
Oh, is it the one from Cheesecake Shop?
Yeah,
No, that's here. That's
there's
Cheesecake Shop's
something.
here.
It was something cheesecake. The cheesecake something.
Cheesecake
I can't-
Factory's overseas.
Yeah, it might be that one.
Sorry, you're right.
And we just and amazing cheesecakes there. And we went there. It was actually for our honeymoon with my wife, and we went and we had this thing, the New York cheesecake. It was the best cheesecake I've ever had in my life.
Cheesecake sick.
And they were massive servings too, massive servings. But
Yeah. So
good.
to answer your question,
Cheesecake.
I do like cake.
I do like cake.
Love you like a fat kid loves cake.
That's
That's
it.
it.
I like all sweets. I'm a big fan of sweets.
Yeah,
I love
dude.
getting dessert.
I
getting
never
dessert.
skip dessert.
Yeah,
I'm a Hormozy fan.
that's it.
Never skip dessert.
Never skip it. Oh, recently I have been.
Yeah, I haven't.
Some training, but
I'll just train harder
that's it. Don't fuck around.
or eat more.
Mm.
I'll just work it out later. All right.
Thanks, guys, for listening. Appreciate it. This is Chop George signing off.
Top Top George. Make sure to like and subscribe to Top George.
To Top George. Just put it in the show notes.
It's gonna change it
Hashtag
to-
Chop George.
The Top George show
Yeah.
featuring
Come
Robbie.
and put a comment on any of my social medias, Top George, and
Oh,
I'll know
or
that you've listened to this episode.
Put it on all of your social medias.
All of the social medias.
At the
Comment
same time.
somewhere. The first person that comments Top George, I'm going to send you a gift.
I'm going to do it now.
What?
I'm going to do it now.
It's the disclaimer is no friends and family
Oh,
come
yeah.
to this competition.
What do you mean? What if friends are listening?
My friends or family.
Oh. All right. You heard the man.
So comment Top George anywhere on either mine or Robbie's or this
Don't
million-
comment Top George on
Please,
anything
if
for mine.
you comment Top George on some
I
of
will
Robbie's
block
content,
I'll block you in a heartbeat
Yeah.
and you won't get the gift.
you-
Because George won't find out about it.
Top George won't know. Top George knows fucking everything. Don't fuck around. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Hit that subscribe button because it helps us reach more people.
Yeah, and share the shit.
Share it everywhere.
Tell your mate.
Everywhere.
You know what you do?
Like-
Post it on Instagram right now and tag us in your story.
Oh, fuck.
Do that. How
Maybe
is that
we should
for
do
a
like a
fucking...
giveaway or something.
Now,
I don't know, just to motivate people to take action. Sometimes people need a bit of motivation to actually go, you know what? This was a sick episode.
what do you...
This was cool. This was valuable. I really like this. I'm going to send you a fucking hat. I'm going to send you a hat free of charge. No, I won't even charge you postage.
What, if they post it on their story?
If you post it on,
First, how many people?
if someone posts this, the first person
First person.
action gets rewards. I'm not fucking around. You're second, you fucking lost.
Yeah,
You didn't win.
This is a game.
What's wrong
You
with
know,
you?
Participation trophy.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, mate. We could do a whole topic on that shit.
We will.
We will. Stay tuned next episode.
Yeah.
But first person who listens to this episode posts it on their socials and tags myself, Robbie, $1 Million Days, whoever. Someone needs to see it. One of either me or Robbie need to see this. And then we're going to, you have to do hashtag Top George and you have to tag me, Robbie, or $1 Million Days in your post. And I will send you a hat. That hat is called, it's the 1% Club. It's a Builder Elite hat. I'm going to send, it's a fucking sick hat. I'm going to send it to you. All right. The first
hat.
person. Don't be the second. Don't be the runner-up. Be the first one.
If you're still listening and you haven't started posting, get your shit together.
Shit together. Could have won a hat by now.
Yeah.
Guys, I hope you have $1 million day.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.